verse 11. Remember, we're going to read down to verse 12. Verse 11, Paul says, "Now it's evident that no one is justified before God by the law." Here he simply says, by the law, hati de enamo. It's evident by the law. In the law, literally in the Greek, in namo, but it's probably a gloss, a shortened use of what he already said earlier, works of the law. So it's likely that he's really talking about the same concept. It's evident that no one is justified before God by the works of the law, the program that was prominent in the first century Judaisms that was being celebrated through the proselyte conversion ceremony for Gentiles who were wishing to be counted as righteous. It's evident that no one is justified, right? This is covenant language, covenant membership, salvation language, being counted as righteous. That's all packed into this word justified, the Greek word dikaiutai. For the righteous, or those who are justified, it's the same Greek root word ha dikaios ekpistio zesetai. The righteous shall live by faith. That famous quote from Habakkuk. And then the last verse that we're going to look at tonight, we'll actually drop all the way down, is in verse 12 where Paul says, "But the law is not of faith." And I think he's still, again, talking about the works of the law, but he's overlapping it with his general understanding of law there. Rather, the one who does them, the commandments, shall live by them. That's why I think they're overlapped. There's a little bit of works of the law in his phrase, the law there, ha dynamos in the Greek, but there's also the context of the works of the law, which includes the law, but in a very specialized way, the very nuanced way that Paul's using it. The one who does them shall live by them. That's a quote from Leviticus, and we're going to look at that tonight as well. Ha poesas auta zesetai in autois, the Greek, the one who lives by them. We'll look at a little bit of the Greek as well. Okay, so that's what's in store for tonight. After looking at the raw scriptural data for the material, remember this is a study on Shavu'ot, the Spirit and the law. Paul started out in verse 1 and 2 and 3 talking about specifically 2 and 3. Did you receive the Spirit by works of the law, right? The ex ergo non, out of the works of the law. Did you receive the Spirit by this proselyte program, by this self-effort, by this legalistic perspective, works of the law by self-effort? Or was it by hearing with faith, ek akois pistios in the Greek, out of hearing with faith, literally? Was the origin of the reception of the Spirit, was it, did it originate in your self-effort, right, the works of the law, or did it originate in the hearing of faith? Verse 3 just reemphasizes the same question. Having begun by the Spirit, Paul knows they started in the right direction. Are you now being perfected by the flesh? Notice he puts perfected by the flesh. That is a parallel to works of the law in verse 2. So in verse 2, works of the law is parallel to verse 3, perfected by the flesh. That's how we can know how they're working together. So let's unpack the commentary that I have available on my website at tetzetorah.com. And it's a Galatians commentary. And the first thing I want to do for you is I want to back up and establish the context of this phrase, works of the law. I already did it earlier in my Galatians commentary, and I'm not going to read all of that tonight. So instead, I only pulled the section from the summary of that commentary on this phrase, works of the law. And I'm going to read down through this real quick. I don't think I need to stop very long and explain it. And then after we read this brief overview or summary of this phrase, works of the law, we'll jump right into the comments of Galatians chapter 3, like you can see on my screen right now. And we'll actually read the comments to verses 2 and 3. I don't need to read the comments to verse 1. Read 2 and 3, and then we'll drop all the way down to the commentary to verse 12, where he quotes from Leviticus 18:5 about the man who does these things will live by them. And then after that, we'll read some liturgy from the Omer count, and then a little bit more liturgy from the book of Ezekiel, and then we'll draw the study to a close, okay? So I don't think I'll be before you very long. All right, you guys ready? Let's jump right into it. All right, this is from my own Galatians commentary, which is available at tetzetorah.com, and it's also available as YouTube videos. Let me see if I were to turn to my YouTube channel. That's not quite the page I was looking for, but similar. You can see on this YouTube, this list right here, that there are several videos available for this particular study. What's on Paul's mind? Let me just play a little bit of it. Give me a second. Let me mute that. What's on Paul's mind? Short clips from my Galatians study, Exegeting Galatians, a Messianic Jewish commentary by myself. And okay, so this is a commentary that I wrote that is available, and then it's broken up into 116 little short, average 5-minute videos. You can see that I'm scrolling down through there on the right side of the YouTube playlist there. So I encourage you to go. The link is also in the description below of this particular video. So go and watch whatever parts of the study are relevant for you, or just go to my website and follow the study there. Okay, let's jump into this. Let me just read down through this, and like I said, it's more or less self-explanatory. I don't think I need to stop and elaborate.